Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Bridget's She Shed. I'm Bridget, and I'm coming to you from a very warm, hot, sunny Tucson, Arizona, which is in the United States. And I hope you are having a wonderful day. It is Sunday, August 23rd, I believe. Let me check that. I'm not sure. Yes, August 23rd. So welcome. I'm in a different location. I'm actually in my bedroom this morning. I'm not in or this afternoon. I'm not in my she shed. I was previously on a knitting Zoom with a Zoom group. And I says, well, since I'm here and I have everything already set out that I'm working on and that's I want to talk about, might as well pop in and do a video for the YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, let me welcome you. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much. You have so many different ways to spend your time. I thank you so much for sharing it with me as I go through the different things that bring me joy as it relates to knitting, crocheting, sewing, quilting, just about any embroidery, anything craft related with some form of a string or yarn, I love. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's start off with a finished object. So I have a pair of socks that I was working on. They're to be gifted to a woman who has shown great kindness to my mom. And I decided to make her a pair of socks. And these are the pattern is the No Fear Shorties socks by Denise DeSantis, which is Earth Tone Girls. And this is there it is there. This is the first time I'm actually using my camera on my new computer. So we'll see how this goes. So if it comes out backwards, I'm sorry. But I do put links down below to the patterns that I use, or that I show. So anyway, this is the No Fear Shorty socks, but it's in helical knitting. And helical knitting is where you take two different yarns and you're like micro striping them, or you can also use this if you're trying to blend yarns together that may have come from different dye lots. And I've been wanting to try the helical knitting and just haven't, but I went ahead and did that. I didn't know what I was doing. So, of course, Denise of Earth Tone Girls has a tutorial, and it was her helical sock knitting tutorial. So I used that to knit the No Fear Shorty socks. So I combined the two together. And it was fun. I can see a lot of helical knitting to come in the future. It's a great way to use up your scraps, or a great way to break up maybe some of your speckled yarns that you have. And I have a lot of fingering weight speckled yarns. And let me show you what I have here. Here they are. Aren't they gorgeous? So this is, I'm trying to find the yarns that I used. This is the speckled yarn, which is beautifully speckled, is from when I was getting the Yarnable subscription from Hypnotic Yarns. They still have a membership subscription. I was getting a subscription for about 3, maybe 4 years, and I just have so many one skein fingering yarns that had to stop the subscription until I could possibly start using up some of this yarn. So this is called Winter Mint. And then it is paired with, this is called Soft Cream. It is just from Universal Premier Yarns, their Serenity sock. And it's just a plain off-white. It's called Soft Cream. Soft Cream. I love it because it almost has like an undyed natural look. So it's really great for using as a contrast color in my knits. Let's see. What else can I tell you? Oh, with the hypnotic yarn, their yarn is wonderful. It's like they massage the sheep before they apply the yarn. This is, I believe it's a 80-20, if I'm not mistaken, an 80-20 blend. And I really like the sock. One of the things that I noticed, you can see here, is that here's like you do one round of my main color, and then there's one round of cream. Is that I probably should have used a darker color for my contrast, or maybe, yeah, because I was thinking maybe gray or this dark navy blue that's in here to pick up more so that you could see the actual striping that's happening here, the magic that's happening here. But it is a really neat process where you knit and then 3 stitches before you knit, before you change colors. You leave 3 stitches before you come to the end of the round, and then you change colors, because with the helical knitting is teaching you that as you're knitting, you're not knitting necessarily, you're not knitting in a round. You're knitting in a sphere. So this is putting like layer on layer on layer on top. And I'm explaining this very poorly. But if you go to Denise's tutorial, she explains it very, very well on what happens with helical knitting. Now, I know there's other helical tutorials out there on YouTube, but this one worked for me. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So this is my finished object, pair of socks. And I started these some time ago, and I don't know what happened. I made the one sock, and then I put it in my bag, and it just forgot about it. So it was really kind of strange. And it was in this bag, living in this bag, which is for Valentine's Day. Isn't that cute? I love Peanuts and the Snoopy gang. And this bag is from 3 by the Sea, which I love their bags and their stitch markers and their yarn. And it doesn't have to be Valentine's Day for me to feel the love. And Snoopy and Woodstock always gives me some love. So I'll put the link down below. This bag, several years old. I'm sure they probably don't make this bag anymore, but they have beautiful new bags for you to have. So, okay. So that is my one and only finished object. My next item is, I just wanted to give an update on my clover tea by Lynette Knits. And this I'm making out of Drops Bell. Yes, Drops Bell. I almost couldn't remember. And here it is. The last time I showed it to you, I was maybe just getting started on the yoke, but it's this beautiful, beautiful yoked tee. I believe this is called Pontel lace pattern. Great, great pattern. It is not fussy. at all. Really, really neat to work with. Has a computer comes with a chart. It's a 56 row chart. I couldn't memorize the chart. Maybe somebody else can. I couldn't. But it worked up really fast. Then after you do the chart, you do a few raglans, depending on your size, and then you split for your sleeves. And that's where I am now. And now I'm just working on the body, which will be nothing but stockinette, knit until I get 10 and a half inches from the underarm. And then I can do the ribbing. I don't know how many rows of ribbing. So far, I'm following the pattern. The only thing I changed is on the neck. I did a half twisted rib, which I love. So I did that for the neckline, and there it is. And this is, like I said, the drop spell. And drop spell is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. And it is really a nice yarn to knit with. It's not crunchy, even though it's got linen in it. It's nice. It is soft. The only thing that I noticed is the way it's plied. See that? So it's fine, except for when I was working on the lace part and having to do like knit two together or slip knit. Sometimes it would split on me. And that was the only time that I had a problem. But when I'm working just straight knit stitches, stockinette, it's fine. It doesn't, I don't have a problem with keeping those plies together. But I did notice that when I'm, trying to knit two together, and when I knit them, ply would slip off the needle. And I went back and tried to catch as many of those that I could, but oh well. But other than that, if I had to have a complaint, that's the only complaint. But I wouldn't say it's a splitty yarn, but if you're doing lace and a lot of lace work, maybe my needle tips might need to be a little sharper. Maybe my needle tips are too sharp. I use 2 circulars. No, I didn't. Why did I say that? I use 2 circulars. I use Chalgu circulars, interchangeables, and the points on them are pretty sharp. They're like my little Arizona Cardinals. Aren't they cute? I'm not sure where I got these stoppers from. If I can find the packaging that they came in, I'll link them below. But yeah, they're pretty sharp. But I know there are others out there like the Hayas, and I have some Hayas, and they draw blood. It's like you're doing a blood test. Um, Maybe that might be better with this. I don't know, but that's the only complaint that I have. So this is coming along just great. Hopefully, I might have this done in the next couple of weeks. I've got something else that I need to work on and get finished soon that I don't know. But right now, clover tea is in the works. How many has anyone made this tea? If so, let me know in the comments. And speaking of comments, if some of you have left me comments from last episode. I really enjoyed reading the comments, and I've gotten back to a few of you. I have more comments to read and respond to, so I haven't gotten to you yet. Don't be disappointed. my setup, it used to notify me when there were comments. It would send me a email notification letting me know that there was comments. But for some reason now I'm not getting that email notification. So I have to physically go into the video to see that there's comments there. Or into the studio page thing and see that there's comments. And I didn't used to have to do that before. So I have answered some of you, but I know there's others that I have not, and I will be getting to you, but keep them coming. But I would like to know how many of you have made the clover tea, and what did you think of the pattern? What yarn did you use? And how many of you have used the drop spell? This is my first time with the drop spell. Don't think I told you the color. The color number is 34, which I looked that up, and I believe it's called Dusty Orchid. Let me see here. This is so much fun. Uh, no, it's called Purple Orchid. Okay, I was close. Purple Orchid. So that, that, let's see. Now, the next thing that I'm working on, this is my next project, and this is something that I'm working with my knitting group that I'm a part of, and we are going to be making the mixtape tee. Have you guys heard of this? By Will and Pine? Isn't it beautiful? It is knit, different new construction for me. It is knit sideways. And you're just doing, the stripes are stockinette and garter. And it's a great way to use up scraps if you want to do, if you want to do that. I have a hard time with scrappy. For some reason, my brain, I, I just, scrappy just makes me nervous. It's like it has to be organized, and that's like the opposite of scrappy. But there are some beautiful palettes that have been created. If you go on to Ravelry and look this up and look at what the different testers did, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Here's one. I don't want to, yeah, give away the pattern here. But isn't that beautiful? I just love it. Or if you have maybe a Advent, or if you have a bunch of minis, this would be a great way to use them up. So I don't have any of those. So what I have is full skeins of linen quill by Purl Soho. And I believe I told you before, I love Purl Soho linen quill. And I am not sponsored by Purl Soho. I don't get any endorsements from them. No yarn support, nothing. Everything comes out of my little wallet, my retirement money, because I'm retired. So this is all on me. But I've been playing for the last week, and thank you, you know who you are, to my partner in crime who has helped me get my palette together that I'm going to be striping. And I want to show you, it's living in this basket. I have full skeins that I have to wind. Uh-oh, sorry about that. My computer. That I have to wind up. So I've got 14 colors. No, 13 colors. And here they are. This is my color palette. I hope you can see that. So I'm going with a somewhat of a fall color palette with some pops of color, such as this rhubarb pink. Now, linen quill is a fingering weight yarn. It is, where is it? Tell you what the 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So with the linen, like you can see, this color is called sweet potato. And you can see how it's heathered. That's the linen. But it is so soft, and it gets even softer as you wash it. And it is really nice for warm weather climates, such as mine, living in the desert. And I've made um, ranunculus out of linen quill. I've made the honeybee tea out of linen quill. I've made the Purl Soho has their own pattern. It's called the half and half triangle wrap out of the linen quill. I love linen quill. Um, so these are all of the colors here that I will be using and making the stripes. I'm going to wind these all up over the next couple of days and start my swatching. And so I'm going to do a swatch. I do really big swatches. So I'm going to do a swatch of all 13 colors and see if I like the order that I've placed them in, or if I need to move something around, as well as to get my gauge. But this is my color palette for my mixtape tea. So, have you heard of this pattern? And if so, are you making it? What are you going to make it? What colors would you use? Talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking about. Okay? And then, let's see. What do I have next? Do I have anything else next? Oh, that's pretty much what finished objects, whips, the next thing to go on my needles. Oh, what I didn't mention is that this pattern is size inclusive. It goes from a bust of 39 inches or 99 centimeters to 75 inches, 191 centimeters, and the suggested ease is 8 to 14 inches of ease. And I will have 8 inches of ease. The size that I'm making, I'm going to make the size 4, and that will give me 8 inches of positive ease. Okay. And let's see, what else about this pattern? There comes with video support from Wool and Pine, which I think that's really great. I've not knit a Wool and Pine pattern, but I have several in my queue to knit, and I do like the fact that they do video support. And also they have a group on Discord that you are able to join. I don't want to show too much because there's some passwords and QR codes in this, and I don't want to give anything away. It is a paid pattern. So, mixtape. Okay. So it was my birthday the last time I was here. If you remember, I was wearing a crown and everything, and I usually wear my tiara on my birthday, or sometimes, a girl just feels like putting on her crown. So you may see the crown again, and it's not my birthday. It's just because I can wear a crown. Um, but I did get some birthday love from my hubs for, yes. And, oh, here we go. So I want to show you some mail, or some sips, as I call them, which is stuff I've purchased, but I purchased it in his name. So does that really count as a acquisition if it was purchased in someone else's name on behalf of, sort of like a charity foundation, on behalf of, you're donating this on behalf of, on behalf of. Now this is from yarn from Aimee Sher, or is it Sheer? Not quite sure. Not quite sure if it's Sheer or Sher. Wow, tongue twister. But this is her comfort silk linen, and it is, wait till you see it. It is fingering weight, 100 grams, 400 yards, and it is 50% merino wool, 25% linen, and 25% mulberry silk. Ta-da! This is called Lavender Fields. I love purple and all things purple. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the heather. Can you see? Look at that. That is just gorgeous. I can't wait. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. It'll be some type of sweater, top, or pullover, or vest, or something. Because I have 3 skeins. So that's 1,200 yards. So that's enough to make some type of sweater. I really wanted to try this again because it's 50% merino, but then it's got the plant fibers in it, the linen and the silk, which work really well in warm weather. So even in the winters here, our winters are normally, the coldest it typically gets is maybe 60. Where I live, I'm in a higher elevation from Tucson. I live just outside of Tucson, and I'm in a higher elevation. I have a mountain right behind me, so I'm kind of like at the foothill base of the mountain. So it's colder up here, and so we do get snow on occasion in the winter. It'll last. We'll get maybe like a half a foot, if that much. It'll last usually a day. I think the longest we had it last was 3 days. That was more like in the shady spots of the yard. But it gets wind. It's more windy than anything. So I was thinking about doing something like kind of sweatshirty, like oversized sweatshirt like. So if you have some pattern suggestions, I would like that. That could work with fingering. And like I said, I have about 1,200. I have 1,200 yards, and we'll see what comes out of this. So that was one of my gifts that I got. Yarny gifts. The other yarny gift okay, is from Purl Soho. Surprise, surprise. And it is, I spoke about this yarn last time. Sorry for the crinkle. I spoke about this yarn last time because I discovered it while I was making the racer back tea that's called Chapstick and Santolina. And that is, like I said last time, it is giving a big challenge to my stash for linen quill space. It's the Santolina. So I bought some more. And these were colors that have been on out of stock. And so I had them to notify me when they came back into stock. And lo and behold, they came back into stock right at my birthday. Who imagined that? Wow. So this is teal spruce. Woo, can't talk today. Teal spruce. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. And the Santolina is all plant fiber. It is 70% organic cotton, 20% rayon from bamboo, and 10% hemp. And it is fingering weight. But it's a thick fingering weight. It's nice. I love it. And it's so, so, so soft. So that is teal spruce. I can't say that today. And then this one is sea turtle. Look at that. That is gorgeous. No, I don't know what I'm making with it, but I bought 3 skeins and there is 328 yards. And I bought 3 skeins of this. And this is called Beige Bunny. And so it's like a neutral. Well, not like a neutral, it is a neutral. And I thought something striped, maybe. Maybe a tee that's striped. Maybe the Avenue Tee by Tori Yu, or Toaster Tee by Rebecca Clow, Dingley Dell by Isabel Kramer, or some other tea that I don't know about yet. But I thought that would be just gorgeous as a stripe. What do you think for the fall and winter? Any suggestions? I take all suggestions. And what I like about Purl Soho is when you buy, I think it's over $95. I know you get free shipping, but they throw these little samples in. So this one is Linen Quill. And I think this is a color I do not have, but I will be purchasing. And I think right now that's 25% off, so I will be making an order as soon as I get off of here with you all. And this is the Hydrangea Blossom. Isn't that pretty? Then the other little mini that I got is, this is their Cotton Pure. Ooh, isn't that pretty? It's like a chocolate brown, and it is called Brown Date. So it does kind of look like a date, you know, the fruit. But that is so pretty. And it is 100% organically grown cotton. And this is a sport weight. So I'm thinking I might get more of this. And I believe you can buy this on the cone and get like 2,700 yards right now for $139, $140. And I can just knit a sweater to my heart's delight. And I think I'm going to do that. So I think my next purchase will be a cone of this, and a couple of skeins of the linen quill hydrangea blossom. So these are my 2 little mini samples that they sent. Thank you. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it that I have for today. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I hope everyone is doing well. Please let me know what you're working on, what's happening in your crafting world. I really want to know. And as I said before, make sure you're staying healthy out there. Make sure you're being safe. And I love you. Thank you for the time. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you feel so inclined to do so. And I love you all very much. Until we meet again. Mwah.